Let's imagine this. A student gets accepted into several colleges. One is a historically Black university where they feel an immediate sense of belonging. Another is a large flagship university with strong programs and national recognition. Their parents are proud, excited, and also uncertain. They start asking the questions many families ask. Where will my child actually succeed? Where will they feel supported? Where will they graduate, not just enroll? Because getting accepted into college is a milestone, but graduating, building opportunity, and avoiding overwhelming debt is the real goal. And today, that decision is becoming more complicated because the college landscape itself is changing. Across the United States, policies affecting universities are shifting. Several states are passing legislation that reshapes how colleges operate, particularly around diversity programs, campus support systems, and how race and identity are discussed in classrooms. For example, Ohio Senate Bill 1 places limits on certain diversity initiatives and institutional political statements in public universities. Other states have passed similar laws, including Florida's Senate Bill 266 and Texas Senate Bill 17, which requires public universities to close diversity offices and eliminate certain programming. At the same time, other states like California, New York, and Maryland are maintaining or expanding diversity initiatives. So the higher education landscape in the United States is beginning to split into different policy environments. For families preparing to send their students to college, those changes can influence campus climate, student resources, and long term success. Hi, I'm Chris Coleman, owner and founder of Kim Educational Pathways to Preparedness. When families begin the college search, they often focus on rankings, reputation, and acceptance rates. But there's a more important question that often gets ignored. Where do Black students actually graduate at the highest rates? Because enrollment is one thing, graduation is something very different. Today, we're going to look into the colleges where Black students are not only enrolling, they're finishing degrees, minimizing debt, and building strong career paths. And some of the schools on this list may surprise you. Across the United States, the average 6 year graduation rate for Black students remains lower than for white students at many universities. That gap often happens because of a factor such as weak advising systems, lack of mentorship, financial instability, cultural isolation on campus. But some universities have intentionally built systems to help students succeed. Others, they haven't. Understanding that difference can help families make stronger decisions. Let's start with institutions producing large number of Black graduates. Historically, Black colleges continue to play a powerful role in Black educational success. One example is Howard University, which has produced generations of leaders in law, medicine, government, and business. Another is North Carolina A&T State University, which is the largest HBCU in the United States and one of the top producers of Black engineers. We also see strong outcomes from Florida A&M University, particularly in pharmacy, public health, and business. Although historically Black colleges represent less than 3% of universities nationwide, they produce a disproportionate share of Black professionals. But historically Black colleges are not the only places where Black students succeed. Many students attend predominantly white institutions, and success there often depends on how effectively students navigate those environments. One of the strongest examples is Georgia State University. Georgia State redesigned its advising system and implemented early alert technology that identifies students who may need help before they fall behind. As a result, the university has effectively closed the graduation gap between Black and white students. Another institution showing improvement is University of Maryland College Park, which has invested heavily in mentorship programs and academic success initiatives. These examples show that when universities invest in systems that support students, outcomes improve. Several predominantly white institutions or universities also show strong graduation outcomes for Black students. For example, Duke University and the University of Notre Dame both report graduation rates above 90% for Black students. Other universities with strong outcomes include Vanderbilt University, Emory University, and the University of Virginia. Closer to home, many Ohio students attend universities such as The Ohio State University, Kent State University, and the University of Cincinnati. Students succeed at these institutions every year, but success often depends on how prepared students are to identify resources, build mentorship networks, and advocate for themselves academically. Families often ask whether a student should attend an HBCU or a predominantly white institution. That answer depends on the student. Historically Black colleges often provide strong cultural belonging, close faculty mentorship, powerful peer support networks. Predominantly white institutions may offer large research budgets, broader academic specializations, and global alumni networks. The key is not choosing one category over the other. The key is choosing the environment where the student can thrive and graduate. As policies shift and some universities remove or reduce certain support programs, students may need to rely more heavily on external guidance and preparation. This is where Nkinkim educational pathways to preparedness becomes important. NEP helps families understand 1. How to evaluate universities beyond rankings, 2. How to build support systems on campus, 3. How to navigate financial aid and scholarships, and 4. How to advocate for student success within complex institutions. Preparation does not stop with admission. It continues through the first year, the academic challenges, and ultimately through graduation. When evaluating a college, families should ask four critical questions. 1. What is the graduation rate for Black students? 2. What percentage of students return after the first year? 3. What mentorship and support systems exist? And 4. How much debt do students graduate with? Because the real goal of college is not just admissions. The goal is graduation, opportunity, and long term stability. If you're preparing for college decisions, you don't have to navigate this process alone. Through Nkinkim educational pathways to preparedness, families can access tools and guidance designed to help students succeed from admission through graduation. Download our comparison resources and join our community to learn how to evaluate colleges strategically. And subscribe to the channel for more conversations about navigating college with clarity and confidence. I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks. Bye.